How's it going? Welcome back to North Coast Constrictors. Cole here from sunny South Africa, Belito. So guys, want to chat to you just a bit of a lucky packers sort of video about how breeding season is going so far this year. We've got 10 clutches of eggs in the incubator. I'm going to be swinging the camera around just now. I'm going to show you the incubator. I'm going to show you how we've set it up. But I want to pull out a couple of snakes here just to show you some snakes that have been in quarantine and come out of quarantine. Also want to show you some new racks that we've got. We've recently just got this rack here, very similar to this rack. Nice drawer that pulls out here, same as this one. But well, I don't know if you can see it on that. Unfortunately, this camera is right up against the wall. And then we've got this new rack over here. It's just black, identical, but 26 litre tubs. And then this has been here for a while. These are my 46 litre tubs. We've got really big females inside there. All this entire wall are all females. These are all breeding females. Actually, I lie, guys. These are males here, okay, in the new rack. It's just because I didn't have space for them. But most of the rest of them are all breeding females, okay. And then another rack behind you which has got 6 big 46 litre tubs also with breeding females. And then now what we'll do is we'll swing the camera around now and you'll see everything from a different perspective from the other side of the room. Okay, so here we are from the other side of the room. So yeah, we've got a rack with, I think it's 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tubs. These are all males inside here. Over here, this is a new rack that we've got. There are 30 tubs inside here, 10 litre grout racks. And we've got our yearlings inside there. And this big 12 tub rack system, this is another one with all females inside, big 46 litre tubs with breeding females inside. And over here we've got my incubator, and this is what I want to talk about now. Okay guys, so quickly just to talk about the way I set up my incubator and how I do my temperatures. This is the way I do it, and it's not the way everybody does it, and it's not the right way, it's not the wrong way, it's the way I do it, okay? I always find that I have to say that on these videos because there's always going to be someone that is going to be sitting back and going, oh, that's not the way to do it. Well, it is, okay, but it's different to yours. It just doesn't mean it's wrong. 32 and a half degrees is generally the temperature that most guys say is what you incubate your eggs at, and that's great, okay. And that is safe, okay. But right at the end of incubation, and we don't know at which point, but a couple of days, a week or two before, the eggs will naturally spike in temperature, okay. Now at 33.3 degrees Celsius is danger zone in heat. For example, if you put a fresh clutch of eggs in your egg box into your incubator and your egg box hits 33.3 degrees Celsius, your embryo is dead. Okay, so the danger zone as far as being too cold is 20 degrees Celsius, actually 19.9 something degrees Celsius. I talk in Celsius, guys, not Fahrenheit. I'm South African, we work in the metric system. Okay, so I like to play it a little bit safe, guys, and I don't incubate at 32 degrees Celsius. I don't have my egg boxes at 32 or 32 and a half degrees Celsius. I have got different methods of checking my temperature. I have got a thermostat up here, okay. The thermostat is set at 31.2 degrees Celsius. I've got a 0.3 degrees variant, okay. So it'll vary 0.3 degrees up or down, and that is when the thermostat will either kick in or kick off. I do have 2 fans inside this incubator. They will only come on when the thermostat kicks on to heat up. So when this drops down to 31 degrees Celsius, my incubator will kick in, the thermostat will kick on, okay, that is the lowest. Those are my highs and my lows. I've got a high of 32 and a low of 31, and then my setting is at 31.2 with a variance of 0.3 degrees Celsius. Okay, Now, I do that for a number of reasons, and usually people like to say 55 days and you'll get a pip, okay? Yes, if your egg box is at 32 and a half degrees and you can consistently keep it at that, then you should get a pip at about day 55, between day 55 and day 60. If you're half a degree or a degree or two cooler, like me, for example, who likes to incubate at 31 to 31 and a half degrees Celsius, I'm looking at a pip anywhere between day 60 and day 65, okay? I err on the side of caution. I would rather wait 5 to 10 days longer for my hatchlings to pip and keep them at a cooler temperature. Slightly cooler. I mean, you can incubate at 27 degrees Celsius. They'll take 70 days, 75 days to pip, okay? Some guys want their eggs to hatch in 52, 53 days, okay? And they want their egg boxes at 32 and a half degrees Celsius. My only concern is that they're naturally going to spike in heat right before hatch, and they hatch, and I don't want my egg box temperature to already be 32 and a half degrees Celsius inside, because it may shoot up to 33 and a half, even 34 degrees Celsius, and that can be harmful, okay? So I like to go a little cooler and wait a little longer, and that's just me, guys, because I know I'm perfectly safe at incubating at 30 and a half, 31 degrees Celsius, 31 and a half degrees Celsius. Now the temperature inside my incubator will fluctuate. That's what it's going to do, but the fans will kick on and circulate everything. Now I'm going to open up this incubator and I'm going to show you where my temperature probe is. It's hanging here in the middle, okay? And the reason why I've got it at the top and not in the middle and not at the back, I've got it in the middle right here, and that is because that is the hottest place that my incubator is going to get, because heat rises. And because I've got such a good incubator, I've got extra sealing around here. That's in fact one of the reasons why, even though it's got a magnet, it doesn't stick. I have to actually latch it closed, and that is because I've got this extra layer of very, very thick, I don't even know what it's called, but it's like a foamy, very thick foam, but it's not foam, but it's like a tape that you stick on it, so it's about so thick, and it's spongy, but it makes it so airtight. And I've got it running around the entire frame of the incubator, and I have to lock it closed, but it is so sealed and so airtight. And my incubator, there's from the top to the bottom is about 0.5 degrees, if that, from the bottom shelf to the top shelf. Okay, but I know that whatever that reading is there, that is the hottest my incubator is going to get. So I know that roughly half a degree cooler is going to be on the bottom shelf. But your temperature in your egg boxes are going to be different, okay? For example, the top shelf, and marginally, guys, if you've got a really good incubator, it's very, very marginal. So let's just do a temperature. I'm just going to pull out a dummy. It's not a dummy egg box, it's just an egg box that's been prepared. I've got a couple of them that's for females that are waiting to lay. Okay, we'll do a temperature check, 31.2 and 30.7. Notice I took two temperature readings. I took one at the very back of the egg box closest to the heat pads, and I took one at the very front. Now, I do not have heating on the glass here. Okay, all right. But I've got heating on the walls on each side, I've got heating at the back, and I've got heating on the floor. So all the heat that is coming into these egg boxes are coming from the sides and the back, okay? And then it's getting circulated. There's no heat coming directly to the front of these tubs here. So the eggs in the front are not getting the direct heat. That brings me to my next thing. Once a week, every Sunday, I turn my egg boxes around 180 degrees. If you look here, you can't see any labels. Well, that's because fans kicking on again, temperatures dropping, 31 degrees. Thermostats have kicked in because I've got the door open. Okay, so what I'm doing now, just to show you, my egg boxes are labeled. It's just that I've got my egg boxes turned around for 1 week, because that's going to be warmer on this side at the moment than that side, and I do that every week. Every Sunday I will change around. So tonight I will come in and I will flip this around and turn it back, and all my labels will be facing me, and next Sunday I'll come in and I'll turn them around and I will have them that way. And that way is my silly little way of making sure I try and get it as even as possible. Okay, don't want too much temperature to escape there. The egg box setup, guys, I'm not going to talk about that because I've got another whole video on egg box setup. Okay, what I would like to do now, guys, I want to show you a few snakes. Okay, some snakes that have been in quarantine, some new snakes to North Coast constrictors. I want to show you quite a unique snake. It's a bit of a hit and miss. I don't know if I'm gonna, it's an interesting project. I don't know where I'm gonna go with this female. It came up from a friend of mine, really good price. Unfortunately, a guy that can no longer carry on in the industry for his own personal reasons, and I took a couple of these snakes. Now, some of you will look at this and go, wow, some are going, fucking hell, what a disaster, you shouldn't have touched it. I don't know. I've only been doing this for 2 years, but I like the sound of it. And one of the things that, if you've been watching my videos and following my channel, you guys know I'm desert ghost, clown, pied. I've got a lot of those combinations. A lot of these eggs here are a dreamsicle project, which is lavender albino pied. I've got fireblade clown. I've got desert ghost projects going on, and so I've got a whole list of stuff. You've got to watch all my other videos to know what I'm going on, but that's not what this is about. What I'm talking about is I watch the top breeders and I watch guys, what are they producing, and I specifically pay attention to what is their staple ingredient. I watch very carefully to see what breeders are using what genes over and over and over again to get best results, okay? And one gene is sticking out in my mind, and it is a gene that I've recently invested in, but it's an incomplete dominant gene which I've always been wanting to put into my pods and my clowns and probably other projects. And that is Orange Dream. And I can tell you the breeder that got me onto it was mostly is Aussie Boyd's. If you have a look at his snakes, he's got high intensity Orange Dream, super Orange Dream. Most of his snakes he's showing is just Orange Dream, such a brightening gene, okay? So I've made a couple of purchases over the last couple of months, and these snakes have got Orange Dream in them. Very new project, very new to me, but still I'll start off with just an Orange Dream 100% head pod, okay? If I can find her, here she is here. She can be as grumpy. I'm not going to pull them all out. I bought 2 of these females. The one is a lot bigger. She'll breed next year. This is just a straight Orange Dream 100% head pod, and she's going to be in the Orange Dream pod project, okay? 2 like this one will breed in 2024, maybe next year if she's up to size, we don't know, we'll see. She eats like a beast. She's got a big sister that was born a season before, identical, she'll breed next year, okay? All right, so Orange Dream, guys, okay, and then that brings me to this stunning girl here. Okay, I bought her as a baby. She is about to go into shed, so she is looking a little bit dull, guys. This is an NCC Orange Dream pod, okay? NCC Orange Dream pod, very, very sharp, low white, okay? NCC does that. NCC is a pattern enhancer, if you want to call it that. You can see the NCC in the front there. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait 2 seasons before I breed this beautiful girl, okay? But she's my only visual Orange Dream pod, and that was a bonus that she had NCC in her. I do have an NCC 100% head pod female that bred this year to a yellow belly pod male and gave me 7 good eggs. So hopefully we get yellow belly NCC pods, and yes, we'll see what we're gonna. I don't want to get sidetracked, but without further ado, and to try and keep this video shorter than my other videos, I want to put out a snake that's going to be a hit and miss. It's a gamble. I took a gamble on the snake. I don't know which direction I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with her. Okay. She may be ugly to some, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think she's completely unique. I love it. I think that there's potential there or there's not, but I'm not a breeder that's been doing this for 10 years, so I don't know. Maybe, I still don't even know what male I'm going to put her to. Let me put her out. And, okay. This is her here. Okay. And she's got a paradox on her left eye. Okay, and if you look at the eyes, they're like light blue at the top and dark blue at the bottom. She's stunning. This is a bamboo pinstripe orange dream, possible black pastel. Okay, not sure. The guys can't tell me if it's a black pastel or not. They say it's possible black pastel, but for sure she's bamboo and she's pinstripe and she's orange dream. So I've taken a bit of a gamble with her. I don't know what male I'm going to pair. She's going to go with a recessive male. I'm throwing her into a recessive project. I don't think it's going to be the Pied project because pinstripe is a pattern reducer in Pied. So I think she's going to go into clown or into desert ghost. We'll see. Or lavender albino, orange dream, lavender albino, black pastel, lavender albino, orange dream. So guys, I don't know. And then bamboo, it just throws a complete spanner in the works, and the pinstripe, but it's an incomplete dominant gene, so it's a 50-50. So we're gonna find the right male. It was a hit and miss. Unfortunately, it's from a friend of mine that cannot carry on in the industry anymore, and I took this female from him. I think she's stunning. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I do have a few more snakes, but I'm not going to pull them out because then this video is going to get too long. Guys, I'd love to know your thoughts. If you had a girl like this and you wanted to pair her up, knowing the genes that are in her, what would be your choice of male? What would you like? And you just love that paradox on the eye there. Hey? Anyway, so guys, on that note, let's get it back into her enclosure. Time for me to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of that. Guys, please remember, these are just helpful tips. It's not hard and fast rules. I always suggest to my viewers, go out there, watch the other YouTube videos, especially the top breeders. There's guys there that are at the top of their game. Just take into consideration where you live in the world. And your climate and your temperature, your humidity levels, your ambient temperature during the day, if you're in a tropical environment, or if you live in Africa, if you live in Europe, if you live in Southeast Asia, if you live in the North Pole, Canada, or whatever, okay, you got to take those into consideration. There's a couple of guys that I always like to give a shout out to. I'm talking about the guys that have got their own YouTube channel, which I think you guys will find incredibly fascinating. Some of the guys are incredibly well-known, world-famous breeders, guys like Justin Kabolka, Miguel from Always Evolving. I just kind of know the channel name. I didn't want to butcher that. Sorry, Miguel from Always Evolving. He's really good. Kevin McCurley is one of my heroes. I honestly think Kevin McCurley, if there's one famous ball python breeder or one reptile breeder that I could meet and talk to, it would be Kevin McCurley. I would love to meet them. Well, I want to meet Justin Kabolka. I think he's just fascinating. I mean, like, he's next level stuff, okay? But guys, when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of ball pythons and their setup, and if you want real scientific, hard evidence, I'll always suggest Rob Barraclough from Royal Balls, Joe Tully from Tullyside Regis Royals, and obviously you can also watch Justin Kabolka, which is Canova, Kevin McCurley from, those are the more mainstream breeders, okay? And then I have got personally my own guys here in South Africa Unfortunately, the guys that I consider like the top guys in the country and probably in the top breeders in the world that produce quite a lot of world's first don't have a YouTube channel, but I'm on phone call away from them. So a lot of the information that I have and that I'm putting to use in my breeding projects is information I've got directly from those breeders, but they don't have a YouTube channel, so I can't say go and watch them. But I always encourage you guys to do your own research, listen to what breeders have got to say, and then base yours. If you're new to the game, you must always find out that you're going to have to find your own mark. You're going to have to find what works for you. Is like you'll watch one video, one top breeder, and you'll watch another video, and they're both incredibly successful breeders, and they both do things differently. One guy will incubate on vermiculite, straight on the vermiculite, and another guy will use a hatch tray and he won't let the eggs touch, and he'll separate the eggs and put the embryo up, and another guy will just clump all the eggs together and put the eggs down and won't separate them. So guys, don't let that spin you, don't let that rattle you. It'll work, okay? It's human intervention. Guys have, try and play God in a way and think they can do it better. These snakes have been doing it in the wild for hundreds of thousands, millions of years, and how they normally lay the eggs in a clutch and they stick together. I only separate if the eggs separate themselves. Put them in together if they're stuck together, and I leave them that way, okay? Try not to interfere too much with nature. However, there are guys that swear by separating the eggs, candling them, making sure the embryo is up, and there's other guys that swear by leaving them as they're laid, and they're both right, guys. Scientific data. That's why I say, just find out what works for you. Watch the videos, watch breeders, watch the guys that have got the highest success rate, the most successful ball python breeders. If you've got literally two brain cells to rub together, when you're watching a video on a guy that's talking about ball pythons, you will pick up within the first 2 minutes whether this guy's just full of shit or he knows exactly what he's talking about, okay? And that's why I've spent 2 years watching YouTube videos and then meeting and being in direct contact with these breeders. I've reached out to them, and I'm happy to say a lot of them actually message me, and we chat on social media, on our group chats and personal chats, messaging each other back and forth, text message, the odd phone call, and I've had a lot of help from these guys. So although I'm a relatively new intermediate breeder, I'm not a brand new breeder, a lot of what I've done is based on what these guys have done and or tried and tested methods. But I always encourage you to do your own research, guys, and take what works for you. And then you will, through years of breeding, you'll find exactly that sweet spot that works just for you. But that comes with time and patience. And there's going to be bumps in the road, guys. It's not always just a high success rate. There's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be disappointments. So if you're in this industry and if you're watching this and you're a new breeder, please understand, guys, there's going to be lows, there's dead snakes, there's deformed hatchlings, and then there are these wonderful clutches of eggs that hatch out, and you hit the odds, and it makes it all worth it. First and foremost, guys, it's all about the animals. It's all about the hobby. It's all about having a passion for what you do, okay? Yes, we want to make a buck on the side if you're doing it for that reason. If you've got a small collection that you just do it for the love of having ball pythons, that's great. But if you're like a guy like me that's an intermediate kind of breeder that wants to make a few bucks on the side, I'm not giving up my day job, then you want to invest in the correct genetics, to breed the correct snakes to the correct snakes, to the correct morphs to the correct morphs, get the best kind of looking snake for that, keep your best back, breed them again, and then sell snakes and hopefully make some money, because this can get quite expensive when you're breeding this amount of snakes. So I do it as a love for the hobby and a passion for the hobby. Also like to do it because I'd like to have a secondary income, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly acceptable to say that. But always remember, guys, if it doesn't make you happy, then don't do it. It's a lot of hard work breeding ball pythons, especially if it's your one-man operation like myself. On that note, guys, I want to wish you all well. Oh, it's Sunday night now. May the week ahead be fantastic and successful. We are expecting a clutch of eggs to hatch in the next 7 days, hopefully. And as soon as they do, we will be dropping a video on that. So guys, from me, Cole, North Coast Constrictors, over and out.